Keeslyn Noel Roberts was born in 1999. She was the only child of Eric and Shannon Roberts, and her parents called her Butterfly. She grew up in Dalton, Georgia. Her father was a trucker and owned Eric Roberts Trucking. And according to people who knew her and accounts from her family, Keeslyn had a loving childhood. She was involved in color guard in high school, and she was close to her parents. And to them, she wasn't just Keeslyn, she was their only daughter, their Butterfly. But as Keeslyn got older, her life became more complicated. Her family said she fell in with the wrong crowd and became involved with drugs. She also had legal problems. Keeslyn wasn't perfect, but who is? And she's made mistakes, and she struggled, and she owned them mistakes. And she was working at trying to get everything figured out and to get her life back together. And she had a great support system. And she was trying to get her life back on track. And then in January of 2020, something happened that would leave her family searching for years. 2 days after Caleb disappeared, Keeslyn Roberts was at the Flying J. According to contemporary reporting, Keeslyn entered an employees-only area of the truck stop. An altercation with an employee reportedly followed. Someone called 911, but before officers arrived, Keeslyn left, and she left behind something important, her backpack. Inside were personal belongings, including her wallet, identification, phone charger, and car keys. She was gone. Her belongings weren't. 2 days later, Keeslyn's family found her car at the Flying J. Her vehicle was still sitting in the parking lot. Her belongings were still there, but Keeslyn wasn't. And now her family was facing the same horrifying question Caleb Smith's family faced earlier. Where did she go? How did she leave? And who did she leave with? Was she walking, or did someone pick her up? Did she get into another vehicle? Or did something happen to her before she could leave on her own? We don't know. And that is one of the most frustrating parts of this case. Keeslyn has never been found. The GBI continues to list her as a missing person from the Flying J truck stop in Resaca, Gordon County. There is also a substantial reward for information leading to her discovery. Her family has spent years trying to find answers, and every year that passes means more time without knowing where Keeslyn is, more time wondering what happened, and more time asking whether someone knows something and simply hasn't come forward. Now let's put these two stories next to each other. January 16th, 2020, Caleb Smith disappears after being seen at the Flying J. His vehicle remains there. On January 18th of 2020, Keeslyn Roberts disappears from that same Flying J. Her vehicle remains there. February 2nd, 2020, Caleb's body is discovered approximately 5 miles away. Keeslyn is still missing. 2 young people, 2 vehicles, 1 location, 2 days apart. Coincidence? What are your thoughts? Did she get into another vehicle, or did something happen to her before she could leave on her own that night? We don't know. And that is one of the most frustrating parts of this case. Keeslyn has never been found. The GBI continues to list her as missing. Her family has spent years trying to find answers. Authorities have said there is no evidence pointing to that Caleb and Keeslyn knew each other or that their cases were connected. So we cannot fully tell you that they were. What we can do is look at the timeline, look at the evidence, and look at what investigators know, and look at the questions that remain. Why did Caleb leave the Flying J? Who was the man seen near him inside Denny's? And what happened after Caleb walked outside? How did he travel from the truck stop to the location where his body was found? Why was he found without his clothing and personal belongings? And what happened during that time between the disappearance and the discovery of his body? Then there's Keeslyn. Why did she enter the employees-only area? And what happened during the altercation, and why did she suddenly leave? Why did she leave behind her backpack, her identification, cash, keys, and other belongings? How did she leave the truck stop? Who was she supposed to meet? And most importantly, where is Keeslyn Roberts? And that brings us back to the question I asked at the beginning. What's really going on at the Flying J in Resaca? Because for most people, it's just a truck stop. But for the families of Caleb Smith and Keeslyn Roberts, that place represents something completely different. It's where the last known chapters of their stories began. Caleb's story ended with the discovery of his body. Keeslyn's story remains unfinished. And that is why the case deserves to be remembered. But because two families lost someone they loved, and one of those families is still waiting for their daughter to come home. If you know something about what happened to Keeslyn Roberts, please report it to law enforcement. And if you have information about Caleb Smith's death, don't keep it to yourself, because behind every missing person poster, behind every file, behind every headline, there is a real person. I'm Lisa, and this is CrimeTophia. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay safe and take care.